So you've clicked on this video because you want to know what goes into starting a remote side hustle so that you can earn money anywhere around the world. Now, I'm someone that's been able to do this successfully, so I believe that I'm one of the best people to make this particular video. And what I'm going to be doing today is going through 5 of the steps that you need to know. The steps that I wish I knew from day one. Because if I knew them a lot sooner, I would have been able to get to the point of quitting my 9-to-5 job, be able to make money online and just travel all around the world. And I do need to say before we get into it that this video should not be taken as financial advice. All I'm simply going to be doing is giving you the information that I wish I had. So treat this video as a form of entertainment or education. My goal is that by the end of it, you're just going to be enlightened on what you can do when it comes to being able to buy your freedom back and live life on your own terms. Alright, so first things first, what I want to do is quickly define what a remote side hustle is so that all of us are on the same page before I get into step 1, step 2, step 3, so on and so forth. Now, a remote side hustle is pretty simple. I'm sure that you already know what it is, but all it is a way for you to make money online where you're going to be able to run it in any location. You're not going to be restricted to a specific area, a specific country. For example, if you're in the US right now, you're going to be able to start a side hustle. And if you want to move to Bali, if you want to move to, a different country, you're going to be able to run it with no issues. I believe this to be one of the best ways of being able to make money online because you're not restricted to a specific area. If something happens in the country that you're in, let's say if there's an increase in taxes, there's issues when it comes to the government, you're going to be able to pick yourself up, move somewhere else and earn money the exact same way. And this is something that, of course, I was able to do. A lot of the different internet businesses that I'm running right now, I started them back when I was in the UK. And even though I've been to Santorini, I've been to New York, I've been to Milan, right now I'm in Dubai, I'm still able to generate thousands of dollars every day. But this now brings me on to step 1, which is that you need to have the right mindset going into it. And what I mean by this is that there's so many different people that I come across on a regular basis that want to be able to make money online. They want to start a remote side hustle, but within themselves, within their mindset, they don't believe that it's really possible. They might see people on social media, they may even see people like me sharing my own experience, but for whatever reason, they've got limiting beliefs when it comes to them believing that they can do it themselves. And to anyone that's watching this video right now, if you believe that you're that type of person that, thinks that they're not able to build up a remote side hustle, something that's going to be able to replace their full-time income, I would say that this is something that you need to work on ASAP. Now, I was fortunate enough from the very beginning to have the right mindset that's allowed me to get to this point, but things wasn't always easy, from the initial days. I had to work on my mindset at certain points, and the way that I did that was by watching videos like what you're watching right now, as well as reading various different books that helped me restructure my way of thinking. Ultimately, you just need to make sure that you remove any limiting beliefs, beliefs that are going to hold you back. And you need to remember that being able to pick up your laptop and move to a different part of the world whilst being able to bring in a full-time income isn't only possible, but it's even more achievable in the times that we're living in right now. But this now brings me on to step 2. Once you spend some time working on your mindset, which is that you need to now spend some time researching all of the different remote side hustles that are available. So one important thing that I want you guys to realize is that not every single side hustle out there that you can do also has the capabilities of being remote. There's some side hustles that if you start them, you're going to have to do them in that specific location. That's why it's crucial for you to make sure that you spend some time to research, the different side hustles that can be done remotely and the different ones that you're going to be happy to do that matches your skill set, the ones that you're passionate about and the one that you're going to be able to continue doing through any obstacle. And this is something that I wish someone sat me down and told me from the very beginning on my whole making money online journey, which is to research all of the different side hustles out there so that I've got a full picture of what works and what doesn't work. Now, what you can see on the screen is the different side hustles that I believe can be ran remotely with no issues. These are the different ones that I'm personally doing that enable me to bring in over $60,000 per month in profit. Things like email newsletters. Of course, when you build it up, you're not going to have to run it in the exact same country because it's something that you're always going to own. As long as you've got a laptop and you've got the login details to your email marketing software, being able to build up an email newsletter isn't going to be difficult. Same thing with an e-commerce store. Of course, it needs to be a specific type of e-com store. It can't be one that you're buying inventory up front, because if you have to buy inventory, that inventory is going to keep you stuck in the country that you're in. So if you did want to build up an e-commerce business and be able to run it anywhere, it's going to be mainly with a dropshipping store. Or let's say if you wanted to sell digital products. It goes without saying as to why digital products can be sold remotely. Once you build it, you list it for sale, it's out there on the internet. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you're always going to be able to make money from them. Whether you want to sell an ebook, maybe you want to start a spreadsheet business or some sort of digital planner, there's a list of different digital products that you can sell. And depending on what type of digital product business you start, you're going to be in a position of being able to make money 24/7, 365 days a year. But just to recap this step, which is that you just want to make sure that you do all of the research that you need to do for all of these different potential side hustles. Look at the different pros and cons, analyze them, and then move on to step 3, which is that you want to pick any one of these and then make sure that you put all of your focus into it. So the one thing that you don't want to do is try and do multiple different side hustles all at the same time. For you to succeed at anything, it's going to come down to extreme laser focus. And if you're serious about making laptop money anywhere around the world with no restrictions, it's going to come down to you being able to have laser focus on just one side hustle, making sure that you see it through and you don't allow yourself to fall victim to shiny object syndrome. In my own opinion, I would say that shiny object syndrome is one of the number one reasons why so many people may be stuck in a 9-to-5 job that they don't want to do. What most people do is that they'll start a side hustle, do it for a couple weeks. They think it's boring, they move on to a next one, do that for a month, then they move on to a next one, and then the cycle repeats itself. If you look at anyone that's successful at anything, you're going to see that they did it over a long period of time consistently, even though they might have been dealing with, obstacles, they might have been dealing with issues along the way. Because they stuck with it, that's the reason why they might be in a position of making the money that you see yourself making one day. And let me just give you a quick example as to how laser focus ended up changing my life. So when I started my first side hustle, which was an e-commerce business, and it was during the side hustle where I first found out about the concept of laser focus. So I said to myself, Monday to Sunday, I'm going to work on this business no matter what. Even though I was working a 9-to-5 job, I would wake up before I went into work, I would work on the business during my lunch break, and I would also work on this business after I came back from work as well. And it was with this intense laser focus that opportunities started coming my way. I was able to figure out which products were the best ones for me to sell. I started to realize how I could do competitor research and see what was allowing my competitors to be successful. With this laser focus, I started finding the best quality suppliers as well. And no word of a lie when I tell you that laser focus just made things blow up beyond my wildest beliefs. So even though you may have heard me talk about laser focus on this channel before, I believe that it's one of the biggest things, one of the things that you can implement straight away for you to start seeing results when it comes to starting whatever remote side hustle that you're looking to start. But swiftly moving on to step 4, once you've picked a side hustle that you're ready to focus on, which is that you need to come up with a solid plan. Now, by no means am I saying that if you come up with a plan, it's always going to work out the way that you want it to. But if you don't have a plan, you're essentially putting yourself in a position where you're most likely going to fail. If you're someone that's never done something before and you're trying to do it for the very first time, by having a step-by-step plan or a checklist to follow, it's just going to make the whole process a lot more easier. Now, let me give you an example of how you can come up with a business plan with the help of artificial intelligence. So I've got this quiz that you can see on the screen. I'm going to leave it in the resources down below so that you can check it out, and you can use it for any type of remote side hustle that you may be considering to start. In this case, I'm going to be using it to create a business plan to sell digital products. So the first question is that it's going to ask me what type of digital products are you interested in creating. So let's say in this case I want to sell ebooks. I'm just going to click on that, then click on next. What type of niche do you want to run remotely? Now, I would say you should always pick something that you're passionate about, that you've got some sort of knowledge about. So I'm going to pick finance and budgeting in this case. How do you want to sell your digital product? I'm going to say I want to sell it on my own website. How much time can you dedicate towards this per week? I'm going to say, between 8 to 15 hours or even full time. Let's do that. Then click on next. And finally, how do you plan to promote it? In this example, I'm just going to click on SEO blog articles and then click on submit. From there, it's going to give you this custom prompt. So all you got to do is just copy the entire prompt just like this, go over to ChatGPT, Google AI Studio, DeepSeek, whichever one you want to use, and just paste the prompt in here just like that. And from there, the AI tool that you've used should come back with a full business plan to give you a step-by-step idea of how to get this side hustle up and running in the most efficient way possible. So I'd highly recommend that you check out that quiz so that you can get your customized business plan. But once you do have your business plan, the next step after that is that you just need to start. So I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Doing research, knowing what business plan you want to do, what side hustle you want to do, all of that is great, but nothing's going to happen if you don't take action. And you don't want to just take any type of action. You want to take massive action. On my own personal journey, when I combine laser focus with massive action, that's what essentially allowed me to generate millions of dollars on the internet. That's one other issue that I've seen with so many different students, all of the different, people that I've mentored over the years, is that they like to speak about what they want to do, but they don't ever want to take that first step. And I do have to say that that first official step is probably going to be the hardest one to take, mainly because, people don't believe it's going to work out, so they never take it. They feel like they're not capable of doing it. But once you do take that first step, that's when every other step after that is going to be a lot more clearer. And even though your current situation might give you all the reasons in the world to make you believe that you're not going to be able to start a remote side hustle, the more action that you take, the quieter those voices are going to be. And just remember that you're getting this advice from someone that didn't get straight A's in school, single mom, public housing, poverty, the regular story. But because I had a laptop and an internet connection, I've been able to since turn that into millions of dollars. So just remember that you're capable of doing it as long as you take that first official step. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, you've gotten any sort of value from it, don't forget to press the like button. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe as well for more videos just like this that's going to help you out on your journey when it comes to being able to make money remotely. And if you also want to watch another YouTube video that I made recently where I break down step by step, click by click, I'm going to jump into the laptop and show you everything that you need to do. You're going to be able to watch everything over my shoulder. You're going to be able to watch that video by clicking the link over there. Check that out straight after this because I've gotten so much good feedback from it. And I'm sure if you're able to watch the entire thing without skipping, you're also going to be able to get value from it as well. But other than that, guys, I'll catch you on that next video. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.